Hey everybody, welcome back to Dr. Holloman's music class. So the focus of today's video is going to be another technology implementation review. And this is an online platform where you can find many different activities for. You can come up with your own activities. It's really a versatile platform. And yes, I'm talking about Chrome Music Lab. Chrome Music Lab is a great way to start introducing your kids into all kinds of different concepts. And it's not just music notation, but there are scientific um, physics kind of things that you can introduce the kids to as well. And make sure to check out my Teachers Pay Teachers review videos. I'll put the link for the playlist in the description of this one, where you can find a few Chrome Music Lab related projects and lessons that I've done with my kids through different worksheets and projects that I have found on Teachers Pay Teachers, which is one of my favorite sites ever, by the way. So let's get into a review of the different experiments and things that you can do with Chrome Music Lab. Okay, everybody. So when you're looking for Chrome Music Lab, you can either do just a general search, type in Chrome Music Lab, pops right up, or you can type in the web address, which is musiclab.chromeexperiments.com/experiments. These are actually 14 different what Chrome Music Lab calls experiments that you can do in a variety of activities for your kids. The one that I use most often is the experiment called Songmaker. Now, in Songmaker, you can create melodies and chords on top and everything, just really depending on what you're wanting to do with your kids. You also, with these little dots underneath the melody, you can create percussion lines. So when you click on the different dots, as you can hear, it makes different sounds. Now, these colors, what I really love about Songmaker is any music educator, if you use boom whackers in your classroom, the colors actually correspond with the boom whackers. Now, if you go look up my Chance Music Teachers Pay Teachers review video, you'll notice a activity we do called Boomwhacker Chance Music, but I use it in relation to Chrome Music Lab Songmaker as opposed to the boomwhackers. But you can do, of course, it on the boomwhackers, but notice that the colors, if you are familiar with boomwhacker colors, it matches right up with the boomwhacker colors, so which I thought is really, really neat. As far as settings, you can actually set it to do a major diatonic scale, or you can set it to pentatonic, where they're just using do through so, or middle C through the G. You can also set it to chromatic, which opens up a whole world of possibilities and some guess the tunes. So if you also go to my Teachers Pay Teachers review videos, there are some mystery tune activities that I found that I do with Songmaker that you actually do need to put the settings on chromatic for the kids to be able to do. You can do different beats per bar. I think it goes everywhere from 1 beat per bar to 4. It does go up actually. I've never gone past 4, but you can do a bunch of different beats per bar. So if you're wanting to do 6/8 or 12/8, you can do that as well. You can, the length, my apologies, the length, that's how far you can go. The beats per bar, this you also can jump up on it. You can split the beats where it is just a quarter note per beat, where they're just doing one color per beat, or you can have it where it's eighth note patterns. So it would be 2 colors per beat, which is what the default settings are. You can have it start on middle C. You can have it start low, high. The possibilities for how you can do the different settings are just really endless. You can also change what the instrument sounds like. It goes through 5 different instruments, and it has 3 or 4 different of the percussion sounds that you can make in the underneath. You can adjust the tempo, slow and fast, however you need it. There's also an option to save your file, and I'll have the kids create a Google doc where they can save their link for a Chrome Music project that we do. There are some of the activities that I've gotten on Teachers Pay Teachers where they actually have, where they paste in the link that they've created for the song. And I always tell them, make sure anytime you make any changes to go and resave your link. So they can save their work and come back and work on it some more later. So really a lot of fun on this particular app. And again, one of the main ones that I use, but there are also several others, including the one called Rhythm. What's really neat about the Rhythm app is you can toggle between different sounding instruments. Each one of these 3 layers here is a different part of the instruments that they're banging on. You can see the colors correspond with the colors of the instruments up top. You can see brown right here for the big tom. Then you've got the yellow for the smaller one and the clave for the little dude there. So it's three different instruments, and they can create all kinds of neat little patterns that they can play. And then you hit play. And it does in 2/4 or 4/4, or I'm sorry, 3/4, 2/4, 3/4. And it does have three little options of little dudes that you can toggle between. I'm going to hit the ones that are more music notation related before I get to the rest of them. Melody Maker is basically a simplified version of Songmaker. Very basic, still uses the same colors that are boom whackers that we use in the classroom, but as you can see, it goes through, you can only put one per line, whereas Songmaker, you can actually have like one of the projects we do, the kids will create a melody and then they actually have to put chords on top, that kind of thing. And you can, as always, move the tempo up and down as needed. You can do different layers of colors, and then we listen to it. So Melody Maker, again, is a more simplified version of Songmaker. It doesn't have as many options. Another way that they can create music through this particular app is if you want to do something with your very little bitties who haven't really begun to understand the placing of the notes and things like that, they can create melodies simply by drawing pictures. The Kandinsky experiment, if you actually, let me see if I can get one. See, if you do certain circles in a certain way, it puts little faces with them. And then you can set lines, make different sounds. So the different colors represent each of the different sounds on here. You can also toggle between different ones where it's strings, marimba. Oh, let me go back to this one. Or that would be more of a guitar sound. But anytime you make a nice circle, it creates a little face, no matter which one of the things that you're using. So that's a simple way to make music. This one, I actually didn't even know this one was in here until my students stumbled upon this when I was giving them some time to just explore Chrome Music Lab and the different experiments that are involved. And this is shared piano. So you actually have a little link once a person opens up a shared piano room, and then they can share that link with their friends. And then they come in here, you can change the instrument that you're using, but they can come in here and make different sounds, and they can actually play and explore together, which I thought was a lot of fun watching them do that. So as far as making melodies and songs, those are the basic ones. Now the string experiments, as you can see, is like a cello, I think is probably what I would relate it to. You got the different parts of the cello, the different strings that they're plucking. They actually drag their cursor across it, and you can see the different levels that they have it, that they can play it on. So just another way to experiment creating sound. That one I really have found, I'm going to be truthful, I haven't really found any lessons or things that I can do with strings other than them using it when they're doing their scavenger hunts, which is another Teachers Pay Teachers review video. So make sure to go check out all these Teachers Pay Teachers Chrome Music Lab related videos that I have done. Now, when you're looking at the more scientific side of things, that's when you get into the experiment called the spectrogram, which you can use to show them what sound looks like. And with the spectrogram, you can actually see the harmonics that are created with the sounds. Everything harp, you got a harp in here, flute, an actual person making sound, trombone, bird, crystal glass, you know, those people that run their fingers around them. You can even hit the microphone button, and I'll have the kids say things, or one particular kid say something, or I'll sing a song into it so they can see how the voice works via the spectrogram. So that's one scientific thing that you can do. Also, sound waves, if you're talking to the kids about how each pitch has a different wave that oscillates back and forth on its way to get to your ear once the sound has been created, sound waves offers a way for them to actually see that. So, and I tell them that the higher the note, the faster the wave's going to move. And so with sound waves, you can actually give them a visual on what that would look like in the air. For the voice spinner, the kids, I find when I'm letting them do the scavenger hunt on Chrome Music Lab, they actually enjoy voice spinner more than anything else. La-da-dum. So you can see. have to actually get out of that, turn it off. So you can actually, they can record themselves and see what they sound like when they're doing the voice spinner forward, backwards, fast, slow. So they just really enjoy how funny that sounds. So again, not something I use regularly. The ones that I have found myself using are Soundwaves, Songmaker, Rhythms, Kadinsky, and the Spectrogram are the ones that I use more than anything else. The other one that I use every so often when I continuing our discussion of sound waves and the physics of sound are the different oscillators. And when you click on the oscillator, you can actually see right now it's set to vibrate at A440. So if you click it, when you click it though, unfortunately I can't ever get it to stay at A440, but you can actually have it go faster and so it sounds louder. You can have it go slower so it sounds lower, where it's just oscillating at one cycle per second. You can do different sounds, the sawtooth, triangle, sine. He's one of my favorites because the kids think he looks funny whenever you lift his head up and make the sound go fast. But it's once you've talked to them about sound waves and how the waves will move faster with higher sounds, now you can actually show them, once you've discussed how it oscillates up and down, back up, to the center to create the full oscillation, that many cycles per second. And this gives them a visual of it and actually a number that they can associate with it. They also have piano roll in here. Again, this is not really one that I have used, but you can set it to different songs. And it'll play through, see, different songs here, and they can just see what it looks like. You can change the sound from synth to piano. So it's a neat little thing, just to kind of, and it's got some classic songs in there. So again, not something I really use unless the kids are just doing an exploration of Chrome Music Lab in general. For harmonics, this is where, once you've talked about spectrogram and all those different lines that are above the main line of the sound that you're making, you can talk to them about how anytime we make sound, especially when we make musical sound, it's not just one sound that you're hearing, it's actually a layer of sounds that come through. And they can see how the different harmonics work above the main basic sound that you're making. So you can use that to kind of give them some visuals again when you're talking about the physics and science of sound. Arpeggios, this is a little bit more advanced. Maybe you might find it useful for your choirs, where you can actually, there would be your C major arpeggio, G major arpeggio. You can even get into the minor keys. So if this is something you want to explain to your choir students or your band students, how arpeggios would work on their voice or their instrument, you might find some use in the arpeggios. As far as chords, this one, you're actually you can set it to major or minor. So when I'm working with my younger kids about the difference between major and minor, we can use this one. I can pick any key, and I can show them how when you change it to minor, we use all but one of the same key, and how it can be changed from major to minor and the difference in sound. So chords is one that I found useful for my very younger ones. But those are the different experiments that are involved in Chrome Music Lab. Again, these are a lot of fun, and there's so many, even more activities than I have found on Teachers Pay Teachers and other places where you can find websites. Midnight Music also, sometimes they'll have free content up. It is a subscription for Midnight Music, but you can go in, and every now and then I'll have some free content, and some of it will be activities you can do with Chrome Music Lab. So it's just what's great about this is you can just really mold the experiments, a combination of experiments, to whatever kind of activity that you need, whatever kind of topic or conversation you're trying to have with the kids about music, or things, scientifically related to music, just whatever. The possibilities are just endless with Chrome Music Lab, and I really can't speak of this enough. So I just wanted to come on here and share Chrome Music Lab with you guys. Make sure to go and check out some of the other tutorial videos that I have done on other technologies that you can implement into your classroom. Everything from Kahoot to Edpuzzle, Flipgrid, all kinds of stuff on there. So if you haven't already visited my website, make sure to go check out lmhmusicteacher.wixsite.com/mysite. And of course, like, share, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, Dr. Holloman's Music Class. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. And I hope to see you guys soon. If you have any other videos, of things that you would like me to discuss, any questions or comments, you can visit the contact me section of my website, or you can put your comments down here in the bottom of this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, you guys. Bye.